Today on your 5 News First at 4, the search is on for 2 escaped inmates believed to be armed and dangerous in the area. And for one of these inmates, it's not the first time they've broken out. Details from the investigation coming up. Plus, New York City's vaccine mandate for firefighters and police officers takes effect today. What will happen to those refusing to get vaccinated? Coming up in just a few minutes. First, though, we are following breaking news. The FDA has cleared kit-sized doses for emergency use. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News First at 4. I'm Erica Thomas. These smaller doses are just a third of the amount given to teens and adults for emergency use. Up to 28 million more American children could be eligible for vaccinations as early as next week. There's just one more regulatory hurdle for the vaccine. On Tuesday, CDC advisors will make more detailed recommendations on which youngsters should get vaccinated, with a final decision by the agency's director expected shortly afterward. Pfizer plans to begin shipping millions of vials of the pediatric vaccine once the CDC issues its ruling. Eligible kids can get 2 shots 3 weeks apart. Tonight, deputies are on the hunt for 2 escaped inmates considered armed and dangerous. Surveillance video shows them running away from the LeFlore County Detention Center. Check this out. Around 1 this morning, jail workers noticed the inmates weren't in their cells. A quick search revealed they dug a hole in their cell wall over time to gain entry to another part of the facility. They broke out a window on the first floor and jumped out together. You can see it happening right there. Jeremy Call and Jason DeLau stole a white Ford pickup with damage to the rear driver's side bumper. Investigators say they're concerned because the pickup had a rifle, handgun, and ammo inside. If you think you've seen them, please call 911. Now, for one of these inmates, it's not the first time they've broken out. Coming up in your 5 News at 5, we'll tell you how he managed to escape from this same jail earlier this year. The Bella Vista Police Department is saying goodbye to one of its own today. A funeral procession was held this morning for Officer Chris Cummins. Cummins passed away October 23rd from COVID-related complications. His funeral was held after that procession at 11 this morning at Cross Church in Rogers. We'll have a closer look at today's services coming up on your 5 News at 5 and 6. Stepping outside on this Friday evening, a live look in Fort Smith along Rogers Avenue from our Mercy iCam. You can see that cloud cover hanging over the area. Some cooler temperatures there in the 50s, but thankfully not the rain we saw yesterday. Michelle?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're actually done with the rainfall basically until Tuesday. We're seeing these overcast skies. They're going to stick with us until tomorrow morning. The big story today, of course, is those temperatures. They have been pretty steady today in the 40s and 50s. We're currently at 49 degrees in Bentonville, and you can see Fort Smith, the same story. But if you look very closely, this is actually facing the west. There's some clearing off into the Oklahoma area, just eastern Oklahoma. That will push into our area tomorrow. So we're going to stay with cloudy skies for the rest of our evening tonight. Temperatures in the 50s, currently at 55 degrees in Fort Smith and 57 degrees in Clarksville. Another big story today has been the winds. At least they haven't been as bad as they were yesterday. We saw gusts up to 45 miles per hour yesterday. Today, only seeing gusts up to 30. So seeing progress, right, as we head throughout this weekend. So the winds that we saw today and the rain that we saw this morning, yesterday, the day before, is all because of this low pressure. Thankfully, this low pressure is moving off to the east. It's taking the cloud cover along with it. So you can see that clearing in eastern Oklahoma. Again, that will move into our area tomorrow morning, and then by the afternoon tomorrow, clear skies and a great weekend ahead. If you have Friday Night Football tonight, it's no rain in sight, no rain in the forecast, but overcast skies and a little bit of breeze with the winds around 10 to 15 miles per hour with temperatures cool. So if you're heading to a game tonight, make sure you layer up. But this weekend, Halloween weekend, it's looking great. And I'll have that forecast, Erica coming up.
All right, Michelle, thanks for updates on the news and weather where you live. Make sure to download our free 5 News app and opt in for notifications. New at 4, former reality TV star Jim Bob Duggar has announced he's running for Arkansas State Senate District 7. That includes Springdale, Johnson, Goshen, and Elkins in eastern Washington County. The announcement comes after State Senator Lance Eads resigned from his position this week to take a job in the private sector. According to a release on the family's Facebook page, Duggar previously served in the Arkansas House from 1999 to 2002. The news of Duggar's candidacy comes amid a federal child porn investigation against his son, Josh Duggar. Nearly 550 new COVID-19 cases in Arkansas reported in the last day brings the overall state total now to above 512,000. Active cases climbing by 46 today, just under the 4,900 mark statewide. 9 more people have died for a total of 8,353, and those hospitalized with COVID across the state has not changed. The Arkansas Department of Health now reporting 54.5% of Arkansans 12 and older are fully vaccinated. In our area, 54.7% of those 12 and older fully protected in Benton County. Washington County slightly ahead with 54.9%. And in Crawford County, that number is 46.4%. Right now, 51.6% are fully vaccinated in Franklin County. Sebastian County, 46.4%, and 47.5% in Logan County. Across the nation, there's more pushback over vaccine mandates nationwide as the FDA reaches a decision on COVID-19 shots for kids. Michael George reports from New York.
The FDA granted emergency use authorization of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. The CDC meets next week to consider its recommendation for that age group, which would make millions of kids eligible for the shot. It comes amid pushback from some public employees facing vaccine requirements.
They only see what they want to believe. However, they become true believers once they're preparing to get intubated.
The Chicago City Council held an emergency meeting Friday to address Mayor Lori Lightfoot's order that all city employees disclose their vaccination status.
We've got to take the drama and the politics out of this.
New York City municipal workers, including police and firefighters, without a first shot will be put on unpaid leave come Monday, something union leaders say could cost lives.
It's been challenging for them to get the vaccine. Most of them work 2 jobs. Sometimes they do overtime all week.
Here in New York City, the police union tried to block Mayor Bill de Blasio's mandate. Friday, they hosted a retirement fair for officers who chose to retire rather than take the shot. City officials are finalizing contingency plans to deal with a shortage of first responders.
The first step would be reassignment of personnel that ordinarily are not doing patrol functions.
The FDNY expects to operate some firehouses on a limited basis and have fewer ambulances on the road. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she'll offer state assistance if needed. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Meanwhile, the CDC just released a new study which finds COVID-19 vaccines offer better protection against the virus for adults than previous infections. The House and Senate are not in session today, leaving any progress for both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and the president's Build Back Better framework to next week at the soonest. The White House continues to push the nearly $2 trillion Build Back Better framework. The latest plan includes the Democrats' top social spending priorities like universal preschool and extended child tax credit, along with affordable housing. And it boasts a $500 billion investment in climate change initiatives. Congressional Democrats remain gridlocked on the path forward over the social spending and the bipartisan physical infrastructure bills, with some expressing disappointment over scrap proposals.
What are the things that I wish were in this package? I got a long list, but paid leave it breaks my heart.
AARP released a statement saying, quote, "We are outraged. It does not lower prescription drug prices." The White House says the Build Back Better bill will be fully paid for in part through taxes on the wealthiest corporations and individuals.
And looking at traffic this Friday evening, nothing too major out there. We're seeing some slowdowns here or there, but nothing too major to report. This is looking between Van Buren and Alma. This is facing west. Again, you can see that clearing just a little bit in the background. We'll see some clear skies starting by tomorrow afternoon, but this weekend is looking absolutely gorgeous. No rain in sight, but I'll have your Halloween weekend forecast and also that trick-or-treating forecast coming back to break.
Well, trick-or-treating is back this year, and coming up on your 5 News First at 4, how health experts say parents can keep it fun but safe. And before we go to break, yesterday was National First Responders Day. We just want to say thank you to those who dedicate their lives to save lives, including firefighters, police, EMTs, paramedics, and 911 operators. Thank you for all you do to keep us safe. We'll be right back.